friend in the West End, Jessie, also known as popesaidnope, and today I'm bringing you a video that someone actually asked me to film. I'm going to give you the tips and tricks before MusicalCon. If you don't know, MusicalCon is coming up. It is the 19th and 20th of October, so we're less than 2 weeks away, and I'm so excited. I have attended previously, so it is safe to say I know the haps. I know what's happening, and I'm here to give you the tips and tricks, the rundown, the what's what, if it's your first one, if you went last year and you want a little refresher, if you just want to listen to me yap for 20 minutes. I have written some little points here on my laptop, so if you see me looking down, apologies, it's so I remember to cover everything. I asked over on my Instagram stories for you guys' questions and what you want to know about MusicalCon or anything you weren't too sure on or wanted some advice. I'm also going to be throwing in a bunch of photos I took last year, just if I have anything that's relevant, because I didn't vlog last year, but I will be vlogging this year. MusicalCon, give me a press pass, please. I do already have my tickets. I just got standard tickets this year. I paid like £50, I think, for mine. 1 year I'll get VIP, but I've never had VIP before. I don't personally do the workshops, so I know a little about what's happening at the workshops, but I've never attended one myself, so I'm not going to be able to give you the best info on that one. But anyways, the VIP isn't really worth it for me in that regards, because I don't typically do the workshops or a lot of the stage door experiences, but I have before, so we're going to cover that. Anyway, so just the main little housekeeping out the way. The venue hall is located at the Expo Centre. This is the closest tube station to it. I would recommend getting the tube or walking. Personally, I don't drive, so I don't know what I assume there would be parking at the venue, but driving in London kind of seems like a nightmare, and the tube is so easy here, so just get the tube. Just get the tube. Everyone's getting the tube. However, last year I did not experience it to be too busy, except walking into the convention centre. Now, our first question, what time to get there? So, the queue, I'm going to set the stage for you. There is a little expo hall. It's actually not little, it's really big, but then where they hold the actual convention, and outside of the expo hall, there is another enclosed room where they keep the queue and the line before the expo hall opens. Now, all of this is located inside a bigger building called the Excel Centre. Not there. All of these words start with the same letter, it really confuses my brain. So the queue begins at 8 AM and runs till 9:45. Now, last year I got there at about 8:30 and I was pretty close to the front. What time you get there completely depends on where you want to be. So in my experience, when they open the line for everyone to go into the Expo Centre, everyone rushes forward. So if you have VIP, you are going to be the closest to the stage, because there is a little section off, they call it the Golden Circle, bit where they keep all the VIP people. So if you are just a standard ticket, you are not going to be right up against the stage, because no matter how soon you get there, there will be the VIP people and then there will be the standard people. So if you are VIP, you're going to be close to the stage, no matter what time you get there. If you were standard, the earlier you get there, the closer to the VIP barrier and closer to the stage you will be. When I got there last year, we were pretty much at the barrier for that separates standard and VIP, and we had like a great view. It was fantastic view for opening ceremony, but it is a long time to wait. Obviously, if your friends are going, you can make friends in the line. They did do a bunch of little performances, like it went pretty fast, and you are surrounded by people who also love musicals. So realistically, I don't think getting there at 8 o'clock is completely outrageous. I will probably be getting there at about 8 anyway. But the opening ceremony is at 10:15, so they spend 15 minutes getting everyone in. You don't have to watch the opening ceremony. If you prefer to go straight to the stores or straight to somewhere else, you can. You don't have to watch the opening ceremony. But if you're not bothered about being right at the front, right at that barrier, I would say don't bother getting there before 9 because you're going to be back no matter what. I should warn you, just a general consensus, everyone does rush in. They do try and slow people down, but in my experience, people did zoom there. We were off to the side on the like right-hand side and our view was still good, but people obviously, it's like a concert barricade walk. You go straight to the front and the middle. So take that how you will. If you don't do well with crowds, you might prefer to be further back. But we're going to touch on the crowd and the sensory experience later on in a second. I'm also going to put all the timestamps down below. If you're looking for a certain bit of info, you can just head to that timestamp. Now, what is it like? What is MusicalCon? It is probably one of the best events I've ever been to. I grew up going to Comic-Con. That was Charlotte. Oh, if you notice behind me, the wall is so empty because I'm moving next week, which is really exciting. In with Charlotte, who was texting me about the house. So, what's it like? If you've been to a Comic-Con, it is a Comic-Con for musical lovers. I grew up going to Comic-Cons my whole life, so to have a Comic-Con that's a little bit more attuned to my interests, the best thing ever for me. Everyone there loves musicals, they love theatre, they love plays, everyone has a favourite. There is cosplay. If you want to dress up, I'm dressing up. I will take any opportunity to dress up. There's stalls and exhibitors and merchants and vendors that all relate to MusicalCon, hopefully. I say hopefully. I trust that they've screened who they're coming. And if you go on the website, there's a full list of all the vendors. There's a couple I'm really excited for this year. I've got my eye on some art pieces for the new house. I hope that I get those because I fear they will sell out. But that's another thing. If you're looking to get something hyper specific, it might be best you just go there first if you're not too fast about seeing the opening ceremony. It's up to you. Now, I know my girl Amy is going to be in that opening ceremony, so I'm gonna try and be as close as possible. Fingers crossed. Experiences. There are a bunch of workshops, dance workshops, acting workshops, singing workshops that take place around the venue in separate rooms, led by some of the West End's best. So if that's something you're interested in, if that's something you want to progress as a career, or you just want to have some fun, I would definitely recommend booking one of them. They are a separate cost, but you can book them online. Some of them, I believe, are booked out, but a lot are still available. So give them a shot. I would love to do like one of them, but it's not really my forte. I'm not quite a triple threat just yet. But if you want to be a triple threat, maybe you should take a class from one of your faves. I know Tao is doing a dance workshop, so go see my girl for me. I think Hannah's doing one as well. Nikki, I think Nikki's also doing one. So you've got a bunch of queens and ex-queens and just a bunch of people that are like industry faves doing a workshop. Go support them. Go learn something. Clock in. Photo ops. So there's a bunch of stage door opportunities. They range in price, I believe, from 25 to like £65, and it's an autograph or a photo, or an autograph and a photo. Last year you could either book a photo one or an autograph one, but I think they've combined it this year. I gotta book into my Amy one. I like to get a cheeky Amy one. I think it's quite funny every year, so I will be doing that. I got one last year and it was like my favorite thing ever. I got an autograph one last year, but now I think it's combined. So have a look at that. See if any of your favorites. It is especially good if there is someone you love who's not currently in a show, or there's someone you love and you're traveling down from somewhere else to be at MusicalCon and you might not be able to see a show that they're in or stage door. It's just a guaranteed way to get a photo with them. And I think that's really cool. And also, I love seeing people's photos. I think people get some of the cutest photos I have ever seen from these. So if you have the will to do one, I say do one. I say do one. Performances. So throughout the day, they run a bunch of performances, whether that is like a new musical, exhibiting a beloved musical, performing a song. There's also a bunch of like on-stage game show kind of things, just events happening. Last year we watched the Heathers Cast vs the Six Cast in this like game show kind of style one, and that was really funny, and that's where I learned Heather fans can scream really loudly. For context, last year's MusicalCon was my first week in London, so I was not familiar with a lot of things like I am now, and I learned a lot that weekend. And there's also a bunch of panels. Some of them take place on the main stage, some of them take place in the little off stages. There is little stages that surround. Last year they had one that was like between the hallway that you would walk in to enter and the actual main hall, and that was quite my favourite. I saw the Queen panel there. And my tip for the panels, if you want to be at the front, the problem is, so they were running, before the 6th panel last year, they were running a Disney panel, and we got to the Disney panel really early so we could sit at the front, and then we watched the whole of the Disney panel so that we could be at the front for the whole of the Queen one. Last year, they didn't take everyone out. They just kept it continuously running. So, and we're back. Sorry, I'm still having storage issues, and I solely blame CapCut because I swear they take up 20 gigabytes anytime I do anything or edit anything. So, we're back. Anyway, so what I was saying is this year I almost hope they clear out everyone waiting and then let the next line in. I don't know how that's going to work space-wise, but it just feels more fair than people getting their 7 panels before sitting through a panel they're not maybe interested in, just to be at the front for one panel they are. Although I did do that last year, and I'd probably do it again, but it feels better to have people waiting off to the side, clearing everyone out. That's what I've experienced at previous panels, at maybe like Comic Cons I've been to. I've been to a lot of Comic Cons in Melbourne, so they might run a little differently here. But who knows? So my number one tip though would be to look at the schedule before you go in. They have the schedule online, it's already up there, so you can see exactly what's happening and when it's happening and where it's happening. Plan out your top things you want to do and plan everything else around that. So if you specifically want to see one person doing a talk at 1 p.m, you know that if you book a photo at 12:45, you're not going to have time to line up. Add in time to line up because you will be waiting in a line at some point. You will have breaks in the day where you can go shopping. If you are prioritizing shopping, get that done first or get that done last, depending on if you're worried things will sell out. But just know when and where the things you want to see are so that you can get to them as fast as possible, or you can, make sure you don't miss out, because last year a lot of people wanted to go the same thing, and I believe they had people standing at the back, but I'm worried that if they've sold more tickets this year, if the capacity has increased, that there will be more people going after the same things, because obviously some things are more popular than the rest. Popular. I'm so excited for the Wicked movie. Oh my god, all the merchandise looks so good. I hope we get lots of Wicked merch this year at MusicalCon. I did crop a shirt. Sorry, MusicalCon. I don't like a fitted shirt, but this is my favorite sleep shirt currently. So thank you, MusicalCon, for this. This is like the 2022 one as well. I don't know how I acquired that, but it's yeah. I went last year for the record, 2023, so I did not go to the first MusicalCon. I wish I did, but I was not in the country, so. My friend Ariel is flying from Melbourne for this though, so shout out to Ariel. There you go. Anyway, yeah, so my tip, just look at the schedule. I did not look at the schedule last year. Rhiannon carried our team because without her, I would not have known where I was going. If you click on the event, it tells you who is participating, it tells you who's speaking, a little bit about the event, so you can suss out, like, I know my faves are doing this panel here, this speak here, then they're doing their autograph here. Just plan it out accordingly. Put it in your notes app, write it down on a piece of paper. It'll be fine. Okay, next thing. Now this is something that has been bothering me a lot lately. It's etiquette. It's etiquette in the Western community, in the broader theatre community, and if I see any of this year, let's all take a big, deep breath. Because this is something I've been going on mad rants my story about, you may have seen. You need to have etiquette and respect for your fellow fans, for the organisers and the volunteers of this event, and for the performers. I am sorry, but it is getting out of hand, which is a completely separate video, but it is out of hand right now. Fellow fans, stop, don't push. If you were waiting for something, you were not pushing to the front. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your intention is. do not push someone else. If you were waiting, if you were at the barricade, the amount of times I have had someone push in front of me, if you wait 3 hours, you deserve to be at the front more than someone who waited 1 hour. If you were getting there at 8 a.m. to stand in that queue and you, in an orderly, fast-walking fashion, like we should be, go to the front and center, you do not deserve to be pushed out by someone who got there 20 minutes ago but think they should be pushing to the front. Stop push. It is the same as concert etiquette. It is on my last nerve. Also, there may be younger people in attendance here, but this is a PSA to parents. If you are watching this and you were a parent of a small child, do not think that people are going to let your child in front of them to watch. I know that they're shorter and they can't see, and maybe socially they should be, but people are not going to do that. People are not letting your child forward, so do not bank on the fact that if I get there 20 minutes before, oh, everyone's going to let my child. Some people might, but there are some diehard fans there and they are going to kick a fuss. And I saw this last year. I saw this at Queen of Events this year. People expecting their child to be let to the front because they're shorter. That it's not going to happen. I'm going to be so realistic with you. Maybe it should be happening, but it's not going to happen. People are not going to let your child in front of them when what's between them is a barrier in their fave. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. But etiquette to performers. I want to see no micro guilt tripping. I want to see no guilt tripping. I want to see no trauma dumping. Get that out of here. I am sick of it, and I will be publicly shaming people in my story who do. That is a joke. I won't be. But I will be making a very targeted rant on if I do see it. I don't care if this performer saved your life. I don't care if this performer... This has gone into like a 5-minute rant video. I'm so sorry. I don't care if this performer... I mean, tell them that they are fantastic. Tell them that you look up to them. Do not tell them the intimate details of your life and your problems. They are basically at work. I'm sure performers love their fans, and I'm sure they want to hear about them. They want to hear about their goals, their accomplishments. I don't know, but stop telling them it's uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable for everyone around you. The amount of times I witness this weekly, it makes me uncomfortable as a fellow fan. It makes the performer uncomfortable, and I'm gonna be so real with you. They don't care. They're gonna show face, but just stop tagging them on your stories as well. Being like, just a little. If you could message me, just a little like. Something to cheer me up. Guys, stop. It's really embarrassing. And when you grow up, you are going to look back on this and be embarrassed. Take this as your West End best friend. This is your message to you. Please stop. Okay, rant out of the way. Let's keep going. Right, sensory challenges. This was a really interesting question. Little question box thing submitted, because I have a lot of sensory challenges. I don't like crowds very much, but I'm willing to endure them. Like, I'm neurodivergent, like every other theatre fan. I'm gonna get cancelled for saying that, maybe. But I think MusicalCon's pretty good for this. It is a loud environment and there is a lot of people, but they do offer a quiet zone. It's gonna be illustrated on the map. You can find they have a lot about their accessibility on their website. You can book like access wristband. They have their own system for that, so look into that if that's something you need. Last year they had like an accessible spot off to the side of the stage that was like you could only get in if you had the wristband, which was really cool. Last year we just took a break when I felt myself getting really overwhelmed. With just because it is a lot. It is a lot mentally, and you're gonna get home and be so tired. Even if it's the best day of your life, it is going to be, I've turned Italian again. It's gonna be a lot for you mentally. So take a break. Halfway through the day, we left the expo center. They allow you to leave. They stamp your hand or something. Last year, I think they stamped our hand. Anyway, you'll have your ticket. You can get back in, leave. We walked to Big Tesco. We had a little walk, and if you look at the schedule in advance, you know you're not missing anything you want to see. Carve out an hour where you go and get food, take a break from the people, take a break from the noise. The lights in there, it was bright, but it was like, it's a lot of overhead lighting, I'm gonna be honest, but it was also dark at some points. It was just, the lighting is a lot. But I'm gonna be bringing my little loops. I have my little loop headphones, but if you need over-the-ear headphones, I might even bring some as well, because the panels and stuff can be quite loud. But yeah, just bring the accessibility needs or like the inclusion needs you need. Bring a fidget toy. No one's gonna judge you. Everyone else probably has one in their bag. I'm gonna have like 3. I'm gonna have my loops in, so just do it to make yourself more comfortable. I think that you should be allowed to indulge in something that's your special interest or your hyperfixation without feeling the need that you can't be included because of your like sensory needs. They will like do their best to cater for you. You can shoot them an email, and if you have questions, there is a whole facts and questions about accessibility needs on the MusicalCon website, which I'm sure you've been to, but I'll link it down below as well. That was a really important question, I feel like. You know what else is a really important question? The venue. Food. So, they state on the website that there will be food inside MusicalCon itself. Last year, we definitely didn't eat inside MusicalCon, but I cannot remember if there was like food trucks. I know I've been to conventions where there have been food trucks, and maybe that's the route they're going. But either way, when you leave, remember how I said everything takes place in a bigger building? When you leave the bigger building, there is a food court. We got these loaded fries last year and they were so good. And Rhiannon, if you see this, can we get loaded fries again? Please. But also, it's in a pretty like popular part of the city. There is food around. There is a big Tesco and little Tesco. It's not a big Tesco. There is a little Tesco in walking distance, which I tried my first, what are they called? Mini rolls. I tried my first mini roll on this day in London at MusicalCon, so I actually think I filmed that. If it's playing, I did film that. That was exciting. Thank you, Rhiannon. Anyway, that's mostly what I have. This is now like a 20-minute long video. Take away 2 minutes off a rant that I'm so sorry I went on. Sorry you had to see that side of me, but it's been really... I'm not gonna get a demonetized strike against me, so I'm not gonna actually say what's on my mind. Also, I'm a family-friendly channel. Am I? Maybe. And I have to go to work in like an hour. I booked work off for this. This is how serious this event is. Anyway, MusicalCon, if you see this, press pause, please. I have my ticket. I don't even know what I want one for. I just feel like it'd make me feel like so official and like, MusicalCon press pass. Imagine how good that would look on my Facebook. My friends back home, they're gonna be like, oh, she's official. I am vlogging. I am doing like press for the event. I just want an actual press pass. If you see me, come say hi. I would love to see people, so I'm gonna be around all day. If I can order something in time, I will be dressed one of the days cake fashion, and I will also have my popesaidnope jumper that I made in a previous video on, so I'll be easily distinguishable. Come say hi. I would love that. I'm gonna be taking photos. Rhiannon is taking photos throughout the day too, I'm pretty sure. Let me know what your plans for MusicalCon are down below. I love reading people's like, what have you got booked? Tell me what you have booked. Tell me what your plans are. Are you traveling for MusicalCon? Like, how serious is this for you? Because it's pretty damn serious for me. Let me know if you have any other questions though. I'm happy to answer any other questions. These were just the questions people left on my Instagram. Wink wink. My Instagram is popesaidnope. I post about all the shows I'm going to see. I am a film photographer as well. How exciting. And you know, what they always say, like, comment, divorce beheaded, died, divorce beheaded, subscribe. I'll see you next week for MusicalCon. Bye.
Divorced.
Beheaded.
Died. Divorced.
Beheaded.
Subscribe.